Warning, there'll be spoilers for Transformers 1 at the start. Okay, what's the deal with Chromia? In Transformers 1, there are 2 Chromias.
What? No, alright,
Yeah, the conspiracy for this goes really deep. Let me explain. Recently, at the Animation Film Festival, Transformers 1 was showcased, where the creators behind the film shared deep cuts into the storytelling, the visuals, and the animation process. And they showcased a bunch of designs for the characters, especially the minor bots. And best thing about it is that all of them was named. We have Sideswipe, Ironhide, Jazz, RC, Sunstreaker, Brawn, Wheeljack, Hound, Prowl, Firestar, Moonracer, and what? Hang on a minute, didn't she win the Iacon 5000? And she had a cog? Okay, I'm going to try and explain what I think went wrong here when it comes to Hasbro and behind the scenes. Because this conspiracy goes really deep. Okay, so we all know that Chromia won the Iacon 5000 race. That's official, that is now that character. But was this character originally Chromia? I suspect that this was intended to be Mirage. But how can that be Mirage, Cam? We have a toy of Transformers 1 Mirage, and his design looks absolutely nothing like this here. But then I say this, was this meant to be Mirage? Because this looks like Blur to me. Okay, my head is hurting too, guys. Now, did this minor bot of Chromia actually appear in the film? Yes, you get to see her more clearly hanging out with the minor bots when Orion Pax returns and tells them about the truth about Sentinel Prime. She could be seen here listening and watching Orion Pax. This matches up the design that we see at the Animationist Film Festival. Now, the theory among fans is that this random minor is the real Chromia, and the Iacon 5000 winner is a female version of Mirage. Or at the very least, that was the plan. But then Rise of the Beast Mirage happened.
Wu-Tang is in the building, baby!
Way to be incognito.
Now we know that Transformers 1 is not connected to the live action films. As a matter of fact, in a recent interview with Lorenzo di Bonaventura on the Triple Takeover podcast, he acknowledged this and finally admitted that Transformers 1 is not canon.
Talking about the live action films, how not beholden do you feel to them with this, but do you feel that there's a crossover there between these two, or do you not consider it?
I don't think creatively they're not sewn together.
Yeah.
They just aren't.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is just a relief to hear him finally say that. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I think just to avoid potential confusion, they just wanted to switch it to Chromia. Now, what gives us the indication that this was supposed to be Mirage? Well, the proof is in the leaderboard. But it also kind of disputes it as well, because we do see Chromia's name in the leaderboard, but she's far behind, not even close to being near first place. Now, just to make it make sense, you could just say she was the underdog in the race and catched up towards the end. Like, yeah, that's fair enough. But that begs the question, if they knew she was going to be a minor, why would they put her in the race? I think this is just simply an error. But when the race begins, in first place is Mirage. Now, who do we see at the very first of the line when the race begins? There's Chromia. And yet, somehow she gets pushed all the way back to 378? And throughout the whole race, Mirage is in the top 5. So if anyone was guaranteed to win it, it would be Mirage, right? Now, I'm no expert on animation. Perhaps going back to this scene and changing that text from Mirage to Chromia would have been a lot of hard work, especially if that scene was already finished and done perhaps months ago. Or even a year ago, who knows. But then you might say, Cam, this can't be Mirage, because we already have a Mirage design. It was revealed in the Icon Race 3-pack. Okay, so that Mirage toy is a retool of Robots in Disguise one-step changer, Blur. And like I already said, this looks like Blur to me.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Now, okay, they are not exactly the same. One is colored to look more like G1 Mirage, of course, but maybe they changed it last minute. To me, anyway, I don't think this was meant to be Mirage. We see Blur's name in the race, which is good, and I'm quite surprised he didn't win it, to be honest, but we don't actually see this CGI render in the film. So I assume that Hasbro did this last minute, and there was simply no way to change it in the film, except for the voiceover, where the announcer says Chromia. And I've got a feeling that the original dialogue, the announcer actually said Mirage. Now, I don't have proof of this, but I suspect that's what happened. So yeah, that's sort of what I can piece together and sort of make sense of this confusing situation. So we have two Chromias. Okay, one looking more like her original Generation 1 counterpart, and the other one being a weird Mirage hybrid. Regardless, it's canon now that Chromia in the Iacon 5000 is the real Chromia. So what happens to minor Chromia? I don't know. I guess you'll just have to name her something else. Chrodomnia? I don't know. Another theory that this was originally Mirage is the hips. Yeah, the hips give it away. So if you look at all of the female Transformers, their hips all share the same design silhouette, compared to the male hips. I think the only thing that was changed was the head, or the facial features. When the first trailer dropped, when B-127 destroys the control room, fans assumed that this character here was Mirage, just based on his head design that is very similar to the G1 counterpart. Even more so that it's a male voice.
Yes, that's right. It was already like, yeah.
So this kind of adds more to the hip theory. So was Mirage originally intended to be a male, and then switched to female last minute? But then found that would be confusing due to Rise of the Beast Mirage, so they decided to name the bot Chromia, because she is also blue. We've got all blue characters here. Blur, Mirage, and Chromia. I mean, in the control room, this is the Chromia design. Except, it's not blue, it's silver. I mean, in the film, there are so many design copies of the exact same character, like I'm sure in one shot I saw like 5 Ratchets. This is all but common in animation, especially in Transformers. I mean, this is a film set on Cybertron. We have so many characters walking about everywhere, they're simply not going to have the time to make a unique design for every Transformer. And plus, Transformers is subject to copies. There are a bunch of copies on the same design. And I think they were able to cover this up in the film pretty well. So, to put it short, this was meant to be Mirage, this was meant to be Blur, and this is the real Chromia. Will we ever find out the truth? Probably not. Does it really matter? Probably not. I wanted to make this video because I saw so many people online confused, and it is confusing. I don't think we'll get a clear, definitive answer. Maybe in the future. I can feel the frustration for hardcore Chromia fans, especially Chromia and Ironhide fans. Of course, it's well known that in the Generation 1 cartoon, they were a couple. Even though we never see them interact at all in the film, it would have just been nice for fans to see that Ironhide and Chromia were working in their minds together. But who knows, maybe there's still a chance for the Iacon race Chromia to still interact with Ironhide. But what's going to happen to the minor bot Chromia? I don't think we're probably ever going to see this design again, so I don't think it really matters. Just know that there was a minor bot that existed, and it was Chromia. This just goes to show that behind the scenes, even the smallest things can be such a frenzy. I imagine due to the high popularity of Mirage in Rise of the Beast, they didn't want to confuse fans with a female version of Mirage. I mean, this is all but similar to the Ironhide and Bulkhead fiasco in the Optimus Prime cartoon. Originally, Ironhide was going to be in the Optimus Prime cartoon series instead of Bulkhead. But due to Ironhide's death in Dark of the Moon, Hasbro didn't want to confuse fans in thinking that he didn't die. So instead in the show, Ironhide was replaced with Bulkhead. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think kids are really that dumb. Regardless, was this meant to be Blur? And Mirage was supposed to be a female? Then they just realised it wouldn't work, so they just named it Chromia. I mean, forget about confusing kids, they're confusing the fans. Anyway guys, I've been Common Account, that's been my best explanation for the Chromia Mirage fiasco. Of course, sound off in the comments, tell me what you think below. And to keep updated on my new Transformers 1 videos, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and click that notification bell to get all updates instantly, because I've got so many Transformers 1 essay reviews coming out. This was just something small, so yeah, this has been fun. It's been confusing as hell, but it's also been fun to talk about this. Now for those who are not aware, unfortunately my Transformers Kill Count series was cancelled on YouTube in its current state. I do have a plan to bring back the kill count in the near future, it's just not going to be the same as it was originally. Yeah, so Paramount striked my channel, so I had no choice but to get rid of all the kill counts. But I have been uploading them to my Patreon, and yesterday I uploaded my Transformers Dark of the Moon kill count as it was originally intended. It breaks my heart that I can't show you my original vision for the Transformers kill count, but if you can't support Patreon, that's fine, don't feel any pressure for that. I will be bringing back the kill count series next year, but I have to majorly rework it now. Patreon does not run any ads, it's all based on your support for your favourite creators. And I have spent a year working on the Transformers kill count series, and I cannot let it go to waste, so I'm going to upload the original versions as they were meant to be on the Patreon. It's currently the only way that you can watch it. I'm still gutted and devastated I can't show you my original vision, but my plan on the rework to avoid any copyright restrictions is actually getting me really excited, so if you can wait that long, trust me, it'll be worth it. So, once again, I've been Common and Cam, and until the next Transformers 1 video, goodbye.